Good afternoon. For the benefit of those who are tuning in to our live video stream, welcome to the fourth session of the Southeast Winter Championships here in sunny Winchester, which is a big change to yesterday and earlier this morning. So we have our final session this afternoon, which should kick off about 2 o'clock. We'll start with the presentation of our officials, and swimming will get underway shortly thereafter. Apologies for those of you who may have been expecting the dulcet tones of Ernie, and in particular the amount of information he was able to bring. This is Mike Lambert, the region swimming manager and the promoter of this competition, and I'm going to do my best to fill in and make sure that those of you at home have got a reasonable idea of what's going on as we proceed.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your referees and their team of officials for session 4 this afternoon.
We do wish we could welcome the officials with music, but unfortunately, if we play music, YouTube has a habit of cutting us off, despite the fact it is supposedly legal. Okay, your team this afternoon is Mike and... So good afternoon.
Okay, it looks like the officials, referee and starter are in place. So if I can just let you know who they are for this session. Our referees are George Adamson from City of Southampton, Sarah Todd from Reading, and our starter for this session is Victor Guerra from the City of Southampton. Officials, if you can take your places please. Before the first event, I would remind swimmers that over-the-top starts will operate in this competition. Please remain in the water until the next race has started or until told to leave by an official. The first event this session, for session 4, will be the 400 metres freestyle men's. Oh, 100 metres, sorry. Got a bit carried away there. 100 metres freestyle, event 401. I'm mixing my numbers up. Okay, this is event 401, the men's 100 metres freestyle. There are 9 heats. Heat 1, referee. In lane 3, we have Lewis Jones from Littlehampton. Lane 4, Aidan Stanbrook, Winchester City Penguins. And lane 5, Alfie Penfold, Crawley.
So all of these swimmers have got disability classifications. In fact, we've got a total of 5 in this event. So their result will be determined according to British disability points. Lewis Jones is an S9, Aidan Stanford is an S10, and Alfie Penfold is an S13. Aidan Stanbrook took that event in 1:02.86 with which sets the time for subsequent heats.
Heat 2, referee. In lane 1, Callum Pearson, Hastings Seagull. Lane 2, Charlie Clark, Guildford City. Lane 3, Archie McKenna, Brighton. Lane 4, Luca Plater, East Grinstead. No lane 5. Lane 6, Monty Smith, Wickham District. And lane 6, Thomas Navarro Barber from Portsmouth, North Sea.
So in this heat, Callum in lane 1 is an S10 and Thomas in lane 7 is an S9. So they will be placed in the disability competition with the 3 swimmers from heat 1. So heat 2, the winning time there in lane 4 is 53.65, which becomes the target for subsequent heats.
Heat 3, referee. In lane 1, Demir Bajor from Wickham District. Lane 2, Sam Drew, Maxwell. Lane 3, Daniel Oliver, Sevenoaks. Lane 4, Andrew Lunnis, Oxford Brooks. Lane 5, Demetrius Gonias, Didcot and Barramundi. Lane 6, Jack Robinson, Reed School. And lane 7, Luke Poulton, Wickham District.
So just to remind you, the time they have to target at the moment is 53.65.
Just a quick announcement, we've had a pink iPhone handed in to us. It will be downstairs on the timing desk. If it is yours, you can claim it there. So it's a pink iPhone.
So the fastest time in heat 3 was 53.91 from Sam Drew in lane 2.
Heat 4, referee. In lane 1, Anthony Kepper, Bracknell and Wokingham. Lane 2, Benjamin Mould, Wickham District. Lane 3, Dennis Malkowski, RTW Monson. Lane 4, Tom Udale, Hastings Seagull. Lane 5, James Taylor, University of Surrey. Lane 6, Jaden Lynch, Sevenoaks. Lane 7, Oscar Berens, Maidstone. And Lane 8, Freddie Jones, Royal Tunbridge Wells, Monson.
So these events are going through really quickly. We're approaching the last 25 of Heat 4. So Jaden Lynch is just ahead coming out of the turn. And a reminder, the time to beat at the moment is 53.91. Okay, and Jaden just got 53.83 there.
Heat 5, referee. In lane 1, Thomas Petschak, Maidenhead. Lane 2, Tommaso Nabaloni, Epsom. Lane 3, Felix Brockdorf, Guildford City. Lane 4, Liam Hamp, Thanet. Lane 5, Callum Wimble, Guildford City. Lane 6, Christian Gale, Guildford City. Lane 7, Tom Hawkins, RTW Monson. And Lane 8, Alex Moore, Wickham District.
So we would expect the winner of this event to be on or around 50 seconds. So we're in Heat 5, and it's quite a close race at the third turn, but it does look as though Callum Wimble in lane 5 is going to take this one. In fact, he's pulling out a comfortable lead now by the end. And he records a time of 52.62, which is the fastest to date.
Heat 6, referee. In lane 1, Hayden Annan, RTW Monson. Lane 2, Sachi Howe Sejit from University of Surrey. Lane 3, Ben Hatfield, Winchester City Penguins. Lane 4, Daniel Cox, Wickham District. Lane 5, Aaron Bissett, RTW Monson. Lane 6, William Dean, Maidenhead. Lane 7, Edgar Stepliuk, Abingdon Vale. And Lane 8, Alfie Evans, Reading.
So in lane 2, Sachi Jeshit is in the lead, followed very closely by lane 3, and in fact about 4 or 5 of the others are not that far behind. So this is going to be a very close race down this final leg. And approaching the finish, who's it going to be? It's Aaron Bissett in lane 5, who gets the touch at 52.80. And Sachi was just 2/100ths behind.
Heat 7, referee. In lane 1, Luke Burton, Wickham District. Lane 2, Jack Sadbury, Shiverers. Lane 3, Ellis Morgan, Amersham. Lane 4, Jeremy Williams, Winchester City Penguins. Lane 5, Joe Carter, Portsmouth North Sea. Lane 6, Jonathan Beck, Beau Sejour Barracuda. Lane 7, Joe Way, Guildford City. And Lane 8, Albert Branch, Sevenoaks.
So the time to beat is still 52.62 from Heat 5. Jeremy Williams in lane 4 is going out very quickly now with just 20 metres to go, and almost certainly has this heat in the bag. And that is the case in a time of 51.98, fastest so far.
Heat 8, referee. In lane 1, Alex Bacon, Maidenhead. Lane 2, Nathan Potter, Maidenhead. Lane 3, Joseph Bradshaw, Abingdon Vale. Lane 4, Jake Acton, Brighton. Lane 5 empty. Lane 6, Christian Dutoft, Guildford City. Lane 7, Sam Pyfinch, Maxwell. And lane 8, Andrew Hooper, Farnham.
So it's very close at the 50-metre mark, with 6 of the 7 swimmers almost in a line there. And it remains close going into the final turn. It could be any of probably 5 swimmers now who take this one. But Alex Bacon is coming very strongly in lane 1 and Andrew Hooper strongly in lane 8. But in fact it's Jake Acton in lane 4 who comes through at the end in a time of 52.21.
Your swimmers for the final heat of this event are, in lane 1, Justin Christie from Leatherhead. Lane 2, Harry Robinson from Crawley. Lane 3, Harry Wynne-Jones from the city of Milton Keynes. Lane 4, Caleb Fox-Jones from Newbury. Lane 5, Joe Bartley from Wickham District. Lane 6, Alexander Davis from East Grinstead. Lane 7, Christopher Finch from the University of Surrey. And lane 8, Ewan Taylor, also from the University of Surrey. Heat 9, referee.
So the final heat. I would expect the medalists, particularly the open medalists, to come from this heat. And Caleb Fox-Jones from Newbury is going out quickly in lane 4. But Christopher Finch in lane 7 is now coming through. And Harry Robinson in lane 2. So it is still anybody's race. So as we approach the end, it is Caleb Fox-Jones in a time of 50.25 who comes in first. Joe Bartley, 51.17 second. And Harry Wynne-Jones in 51.26 third, and they will be the medalists.
The next event is event 402. It's the women's 50 metres freestyle. There are 9 heats. Heat 1, referee.
So these heats will go through very quickly. There are two swimmers with disability classifications in this race. It's Fern Snedden in lane 1, who is an S6, and Iona Winifrith in lane 8, who is also an S6, so they are racing against each other for the medals. So the time for people to aim at now is 27.68, set by Jessica Gable of RTW Monson.
Heat 2, referee.
So there are 8 swimmers here. And they're coming into the halfway turn all in a line. 27.68 to beat. But in lane 5, Ella Thornburg took a yard out of them, or should I say a metre these days, at the turn. And she won with a time of 26.82, which is the new fastest time to aim at.
Heat 3, referee.
So the next 8 swimmers in Heat 3. Just a reminder, we simply don't have time to read out the names of all of the swimmers in a 50-metre swim. By the time we finished, so would they be. So it looks to me here as though lane 2 is going very strongly, and indeed she did go very strongly, but Jess Gillett in lane 4 was 1/100th faster in 27.46.
Referee.
I would expect the winner of this race will come in the low 25s. So that will give you a way of measuring how close the swimmers in these early heats are. And these are all in a line. 27.41, 27.49, 27.67 dead heat for third. So 27.41 is the new fast, no it isn't. 26.82 is still the fastest time.
Heat 5, referee.
In Heat 5, Ella Humphries from Guildford in lane 4 is just 12 years old, and yet she's qualified and is competing on pretty much equal terms with swimmers 5 years her older. So a very interesting prospect for the future. So 26.99 for Jessica Monroe was the fastest time in that heat. But 26.82 survives as the target.
Heat 6, referee.
So heat 6 is following a very similar pattern with 8 swimmers approaching the 25-metre turn, almost in line. So it will have been the quality of the turn and the desire in the final length that determines the winner. And wow, thank heavens for electronic timing. Hannah Jones touches first in 27.28.
Heat 7, referee.
So with just 3 heats to go, that time of 26.82 from heat 2 continues to be the target for people to chase. And again, in 50 metres freestyle, it's not uncommon to have a whole load of swimmers in a row. It looks here as though Annabelle Quinn in lane 3 is just about going to take it, and she does, with a time of 26.83.
Heat 8, referee.
So this is the penultimate heat, and we have another youngster in Hannah Capron from Brighton, who's only 13 in lane 3. Are we going to see that time of 26.82 finally beaten? Once again, it's very close. It looks between lanes 2 and 3. And lane 2, Emma Hackberg, gets 26.80. Yes, that 26.82 has now been beaten by 2/100ths.
Your swimmers for the final heat in this event are: in lane 1, Zoe Musial from the University of Surrey; lane 2, Jessica Hum from Bracknell and Wokingham; lane 3, Holly Widows from East Grinstead; lane 4, Eva Acaro from Sevenoaks; lane 5, Darcy Revitt, Guildford City; lane 6, Isabella Acaro, Sevenoaks; lane 7, Kennedy Gordon from Reed School; and lane 8, Annabelle Compton from Wickham District. Heat 9, referee.
So the final heat. Will we see a sub-26 second time? Well, we've got Eva Akara in lane 4, who has won an awful lot this weekend, and she is leading this one out. And it looks as though she is going to take the gold medal, and 25.26. So the gold medal goes to Eva in 25.26, silver to Darcy Revitt, and bronze to Holly Widows.
Okay, I have the results here for event 401. which was the men's 100 metres freestyle. For the 16 and under category, in third place, Justin Christie from Leatherhead. In second place, Aaron Bissett from RTW Monson. And in first place, from East Grinstead, in a time of 52.05, Alexander Davis. For the open age group, in third place, Harry Wynne Jones from the city of Milton Keynes. In second place, Joe Bartley from Wickham District. And in first place, from Newbury, in a time of 50.25, Caleb Fox-Jones. For the multi-classification swimmers for the same event, in third place, Callum Pearson from Hastings. In second place, Alfie Penfold from Crawley. And in first place, in a time of 1 minute, 00.51, is Thomas Navarro Barber from Portsmouth Northsea. This is event 403. It's the 200 metres breaststroke for men. There are 7 heats. Heat 1, referee. Okay, in lane 1 we have Oren Staines from Wickham District. Lane 2, Noah Dobson, Mid Sussex Marlins. Lane 3, Cian McSporran, Littlehampton. Lane 4, George Castle, Witney and District. Lane 5, James Taylor Wright, RTW Monson. Lane 6, Oliver Richards, Bracknell and Wokingham. Lane 7, Rafferty Hurd from Guildford City. And in lane 8, Arman Gilioyan from Wickham District.
We have time to relax with a slightly longer swim here, so just remind myself, these boys and men are going to swim 8 lengths, so I'll try not to wish them finished too early. I would expect that the winner of this event will go sub 220. So that will give you a way of measuring how well we're doing. Halfway point, George Castle of Witney has got about 1.5 seconds lead and is pulling a little clearer as he goes down towards the final turn. But the field is beginning to catch up in this final length, and it may well be that that lane 5, James Taylor Wright, will in fact pull ahead. Which he is indeed doing. So 15 metres to go. James Taylor Wright has now got a comfortable lead and looks certain to take first place in the first heat. So his time of 2:37.85 is the one for subsequent swimmers to shoot at.
Heat 2, referee. In lane 1, we have Michael Grachev from Amersham. Lane 2, Charlie King from Thanet. Lane 3, Joshua Crombie from Sevenoaks. Lane 4, Matthew Smith from Littlehampton. Lane 5, Chael Cowles from Maxwell. Lane 6, Leo Nichols from Bracknell and Wokingham. Lane 7, Gregor Hutchison from Thanet. And Lane 8, Henry Curzon from Wickham District.
So at the 50-metre mark, it's between Gregor Hutchison in lane 7 and Michael Grachev in lane 1. But as I say that, Joshua Crombie in lane 3 is coming through and splitting them. So at the halfway mark, Gregor is first, Joshua is second, less than half a second behind. So at the three-quarter distance, in fact, it's Gregor Hutchinson now in lane 7, who is out ahead. Joshua Crombie just behind in lane 3. Right, coming up to the final touch now. It's between lanes 3 and lane 7. And lane 7 got it on the touch. So Gregor Hutchinson sets the new fastest time of 2:35.21. Joshua Crombie was 0.19 behind.
Heat 3, referee. In lane 1, we have Jack Pass from Sevenoaks. Lane 2, Ralph Allen, Abingdon Vale. Lane 3, George Dominey from Havant and Waterlooville. Lane 4, Darragh McSporran, Littlehampton. Lane 5, Luke O'Mara from Hart. Lane 6, Thomas Strong from Wickham District. Lane 7, Alexander Hicks from the University of Surrey. And in lane 8, Luke Buckingham from Rushmore Royals.
So after 50 metres, this one is pretty close. So we're in heat 3, and we're aiming for 2:35.21 to set the fastest time so far. So coming up to the halfway mark, it's between lane 8, and that is Luke Buckingham, and lane 4, Darragh McSporran. But lane 3 is coming up, as are several of the others, so it is really difficult to predict where this particular race is going to end up. That third 50 was very significant. Luke Buckingham now enjoys a significant lead, just under 4 seconds. So looks really good to take this fourth heat. And Luke's lead is extending all the way down this final length. He's got 5 meters to go. And he touches now in 2:30.13. Again, the fastest time so far.
Heat 4, referee. In lane 1, we have Finlay Richardson from Guildford City. Lane 2, Thomas Williams, Guildford City. Lane 3, Daniel Oakley, Winchester City Penguins. Lane 4, Callum Farrow, Black Lion. Lane 5, Alex Tollett, RTW Monson. Lane 6, Henry Benton, Maidenhead. Lane 7, Jack Cutler, City of Milton Keynes. And in lane 8, Lucas Philippides from Windsor.
So after 50 metres, it was very close between Daniel Oakley in lane 3 and Henry Benton in lane 6. But at the moment, it's very close at the front of this race, and the positions are changing quite frequently. So it's Henry Benton ahead just at the halfway mark. With 50 metres to go, there are 3 swimmers still in it in this race, although Henry Benton is beginning to look like the eventual winner. But Daniel Oakley and Thomas Williams are still fighting very hard and pushing for at least the second place in this heat. But Henry now has pulled clear and looks as though he is going to win, which he in fact does, in 2:27.35. Another fastest time so far in this event.
Heat 5, referee. In lane 1, we have Dominic Adams from Wickham District. Lane 2, Oren Jones, Crawley. Lane 3, Ellis Knowles, Leatherhead. Lane 4, Liam Smith, Wickham District. Lane 5, Victor Dooney, Epsom District. Lane 6, Kean Day, Eastbourne. Lane 7, Joshua Davidson, Atlantis. And in lane 8, Nathaniel Reeve from Woking.
So we're coming up to the halfway mark in this heat, and there are 3 swimmers in lane 6, 7 and 8 who are making the pace. The outside swimmer, Nathaniel Reeve from Woking, is just ahead. $50 meters to go, and it's still Nathaniel ahead, but not by far. Although he's pulling a little bit clear now, coming to the final turn, but it could be any of 4 to come in second in this heat. So Nathaniel held on for a time of 2:27.91, but just about 0.8 of a second ahead of Oren Jones in second place.
Heat 6, referee. In lane 1, we have Sam Martin Young from Sevenoaks. Lane 2, Joseph Dollamore from Portsmouth North Sea. Lane 3, Ethan Bird, City of Oxford. Lane 4, Nathan Walford from Wickham District. Lane 5, Samuel Lorchin Young from Hart. Lane 6, Jake Chesworth from Maxwell. Lane 7, Samuel Crottenden from Abingdon Vale. And lane 8, William Miles from Basingstoke Bluefins.
So the time they're looking for in this penultimate heat is 2:27.91. And if we do get any times in this heat which are even approaching 2:20, they may put pressure on the faster swimmers in the final heat to come. So coming up to the halfway mark, it's between William Miles in lane 1 and Ethan Bird in lane 2. Less than 1/10 of a second between them. So 50 meters to go, and it is still neck and neck between Ethan Bird and William Miles. Ethan's just about got the advantage, but the difference is hundredths of a second. But Joseph Dollamore in lane 2 is coming up fast. But it looks as though Ethan is going to hold this, and he is going to set a time of... No, it was William Miles in lane 8 who got the touch in 2:25.24.
Okay, I'm just going to announce the swimmers for the final heat in this event. In lane 1, we have Jacob Hudson from Winchester City Penguins. Lane 2, Khan Tugchetem from Abingdon Vale. Lane 3, William Dean from Maidenhead. Lane 4, Abdulaziz Hassan Al Obaidli from Portsmouth North Sea. Lane 5, Joe Buxton from Reading. Lane 6, Caden Sylar from Abingdon Vale. Lane 7, Matt Burrows from Sevenoaks, and Lane 8, Max Morgan from Reed's School. Heat 7, referee.
I confidently expect the medalists to come from this heat, although the fastest entrant, Abdulaziz, is not actually swimming. Joe Buxton in lane 5 has entered on a time much faster than any of the other swimmers, so it will be interesting to see how this race pans out. Just to repeat, the time they're looking to beat is 2:25.34. At the halfway mark, it's William Dean and Lee in lane 3 and Matt Burrows in lane 7 who are leading the field, with Can Tugsetin not far behind in 3rd place. So 50 metres to go. Still neck and neck between Matt Burrows and William Dean. It could be either of them. But they're probably going to pull away from the others in the field. So they touched together with 25 metres to go. This is a close race. And from my position above the pool, I can't see which of them is currently ahead. They're going into the red zone together. They're coming in stroke for stroke. And it is William Dean in lane 3 who takes the victory in 2:21.57. Matt Burrows second in 2:21.74. And Joe Buxton third in 2:22.45. Yeah, and those are your 3 medalists in the open category.
Okay, just while they're popping the backstroke ledges in for the next backstroke event, I do have the results for event 402, which was the women's 50 metres freestyle. For the 16 and under age group, in 3rd place, Isabella Acaro from Sevenoaks. In 2nd place, Holly Widows from East Grinstead. And in 1st place, from Sevenoaks, in a time of 25.26, Eva Acaro. For the open age group, for the same event, in 3rd place, Holly Widows from East Grinstead. In 2nd place, Darcy Revitt from Guildford City. And in 1st place, from Sevenoaks, in that time of 25.26, Eva Acaro. For the multi-classification swimmers, in 2nd place, Iona Winifred from Tonbridge. And in 1st place, from RTW Monson, in a time of 40.04, Fern Snedden. The next event is event 404. It's the women's 200 metres backstroke. There are 7 heats. Heat 1, referee. Okay, our swimmers in this first heat. In lane 2, we have Zoe Mackay from Leatherhead. In lane 3, Paige Austin Burrows from Rushmore Royals. In lane 4, Alice Young from Guildford City. In lane 5, Rachel Goff from East Grinstead. And in lane 6, Madeline Hepworth from Wickham District.
We have 7 finals, 7 heats of this event. I would expect the winning time to be around 2:15. So we've got 5 swimmers here working to set the target for subsequent swimmers coming along. As always with backstroke, the turns are very carefully scrutinised by the turn judges from above. There have been so many changes to backstroke turn law over the years that it is something that people still sometimes struggle with. So we're coming up to the 3/4 mark, and there are 4 swimmers still almost in a row, separated by no more than 3/4 of a metre. So the final turn will be crucial. Who will get the better turn? Who will get the better kick off the wall to start this final 25 metres? And the answer is probably the best turn came in lane 5. But lanes 4 and 3 were pretty good as well. So coming into the finish, Alice Young in lane 4 just takes it half a second ahead of Rachel Goff in lane 5.
Heat 2, referee. In lane 1, we have Emily Bissett from Maxwell. Lane 2, Georgia Humphreys from Newbury. Lane 3, Minaji Roop Singh from Wickham District. Lane 4, Madison Emmett from Guildford City. Lane 5, Hannah Day, Portsmouth North Sea. Lane 6, Louise Bresler, Guildford City. Lane 7, Lilia Fornesia from Sevenoaks. And in lane 8, Erin Stewart from Whitney and District.
"50 metres gone, and Amelia Bissett in lane 1 and Madison Emmett in lane 4 have gone away slightly from the rest of the field, but there's a long way to go. And it's more or less the same position at the halfway mark. Although these are by no means winning leads. There's still a lot of work to do. So 50 metres to go, and Amelia Bissett in lane 1 has got maybe a second and a half's lead over Madison Ement in lane 4. So a good solid turn here, and the race is probably hers. And that's the way it looks as though it's working out, although the other swimmers are coming back fast. There are 3 of them very close. And in fact, it was Louise Bressler in lane 6 who took the touch. 2:22.66, which now becomes the fastest time to aim at.
Heat 3, referee.
We have another slight delay while the officials sort out one of these backstroke ledges. I'm sure they're wonderful, and I'm sure swimmers swim much better with backstroke ledges, but they are complex and fiddly for the officials to fit.
Heat 3, referee. In lane 1, we have Sophie Duckworth from Rushmore Royals. In lane 2, Maisie Brown, Rushmore Royals. Lane 3, Molly Lehman, Windsor. Lane 4, Emma Alexander, City of Milton Keynes. Lane 5, Alice White, Winchester City Penguins. Lane 6, Charlotte Morris, Bracknell and Wokingham. Lane 7, Caitlin Ireland, Maidenhead. And Lane 8, Holly Hopwood from Guildford City.
After 50 metres, there was very little between most of those swimmers, although they are beginning to spread out a bit now as they head towards the 75-metre turn. Three swimmers, lanes 3, 6 and 7, that's Molly Brown, Charlotte Morris and Caitlin Ireland, turned almost at the same time at 75 metres. And it looks as though they're going to do exactly the same at 100 metres. And they're tracking each other very closely as they get into the second half of this 200-metre race. Three more turns almost exactly together. Now, Caitlin Ireland appears to have made quite a decisive move in that 6:25 and has gone into the wall maybe a second and a half ahead of the other two girls. But Molly Lehman in lane 3 is fighting hard and is almost certainly going to turn second with 25 metres to go. Caitlin is still in the lead. Molly is chasing hard, but probably doesn't have quite enough pull left to make an impact. So yes, Caitlin Ireland takes first place with 2:23.19.
Heat 4, referee. In lane 1, we have Naya Kearney from Wickham District. Lane 2, Grace Llewellyn from the city of Milton Keynes. Lane 3, Creswyn Smith from Amersham. Lane 4, Emma Hagberg from Guildford City. Lane 5, Tia Lomas from Wickham District. Lane 6, Annabelle Compton from Wickham District. Lane 7, Alicia Bethel from Wickham District. And in lane 8, Catherine Williams from Didcot and Barramundi.
So we're in lane 4, in heat 4. The time to beat is still 2:26.26. And coming up to the 75-metre mark, we have 3 swimmers who are almost together, maybe not quite so together now as they come up to a 100-metre mark. It does look as though Catherine Williams has pulled out maybe 1.5 metres, 2 metres over Tia Lomas and Annabelle Compton, tracking her in lane 5 and 6. So Catherine Williams is now a couple of metres clear. Lanes 5 and 6 are still following, and with 35 metres to go, it looks as though that may well be the result of this heat. So Catherine Williams turns first. Annabelle Compton turns second with just the 1 length to go. But this is a clear win for Catherine Williams in lane 8 in 2:17.90. Easily the fastest time so far in this event.
I have actually got the results here for event 403, which was the men's 200 metres breaststroke. In the 16 and under, In third place, Max Morgan from Reed School. In second place, Ethan Bird from City of Oxford. And in first place from Abingdon Vale in a time of 2:24.83, Caden Seiler. In the open age group, in third place, Joe Buxton from Reading. In second place, Matt Burrows from Sevenoaks. And in first place, from Maidenhead, in a time of 2:21.57, William Dean. Heat 5, referee. Okay, in lane 1 we have Catherine McBride from Bracknell and Wokingham. Lane 2, Harris Capri from Rushmore Royals. Lane 3, Amber Ranson from Atlantis. Lane 4, Amber Likely from Portsmouth Northsea. Lane 5, Katie Ford from Windsor. Lane 6, Megan Hansford from Tigers Jersey. Lane 7, Darcy Smith, Portsmouth Northsea. And lane 8, Mia Collier from Black Lion.
Catherine Williams' time in the previous heat was way inside her entry time, and given that I think the final result may be around 2:15, then 2:17.9 might just put pressure on the people in the subsequent heats. So here we are with, we're in heat 5, coming up to the halfway mark, and lanes 4 and 6. That's Amber Likely and Megan Hansford have got a comfortable lead at this point. So now we're coming up to the final turn, and it is Megan Hansford in the lead with Amber Likely second. And these still enjoy a comfortable margin over the rest of the field. So it's looking as though this is how it might finish, but we still have 1 turn and 25 metres to go. So with the final turn negotiated, there is some pressure from lanes 7 and 8. But Megan Hansford is a clear winner. But Maya Collier in lane 8 came through to take second place. So Megan's time was 2:18.00.
Heat 6, referee. In lane 1, we have Olivia Burrow from Wickham District. Lane 2, Amelia Oliver from Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson. Lane 3, Cara Muller from Guildford City. Lane 4, Isabel Buis, Rushmore Royals. Lane 5, Abigail Hogben from Thanet. Lane 6, Evie Johns, University of Surrey. Lane 7, Carlin Arundel from Maidstone. And lane 8, Holly Waymand from Maxwell.
So about 70 metres gone in this penultimate heat. Swimmers are still chasing the time set by Catherine Williams of 2:17.90. Isabel Boost in lane 4 has got quite a commanding lead here coming up to the halfway point, with several other swimmers touching almost together in second place. In fact, probably 6 swimmers are still with a chance of finishing second in this heat. So we're coming up to the final touch, and it is Isabel Boost with 2:17.49 in first place.
Okay, your swimmers for the final heat in this event are in lane 1, Lucy Block from Wickham District. In lane 2, Charlotte Hayden from Wickham District. Lane 3, Jessica Gable, RTW Monson. Lane 4, Charlotte Prince Rainer, Winchester City Penguins. Lane 5, Caitlin Ebbage, Tonbridge. Lane 6, Tegan Matthews, Guildford City. Lane 7, Ruby Stevenson, City of Milton Keynes. And lane 8, Evie Stockdale from Hastings Seagull.
So this is the final heat of the 200 metres backstroke. The fastest time so far was 2:17.49 in heat 6 from Isabel Boost. Will that put have any impact on the medals? We will see. So coming up to 75 metres, Caitlin Ebbage from Tonbridge, who's focused in a lot of medal lists so far this weekend, is out in front, with Charlotte Prince Rainer of Winchester not that far behind. So that was the halfway mark. Caitlin and Charlotte seem to be making the pace, but it's not all over yet, because there are a number of other swimmers who are close enough to catch up with either one outstanding turn or one poor turn. But at the 150 mark, Caitlin is very clearly now in the lead, and Charlotte is well established in second place. I would not expect those positions to change. There will be quite a battle for third place in this race. It could be any of 4 swimmers at the moment. But first place is not in doubt. With a time of 2:10.96, Caitlin Ebbidge is the gold medalist. 2:14.14, Charlotte Prince Reina is the second place. And 2:16.19, Tegan Matthews is third.
The next event is event 405. It's the men's 50 metres butterfly. There are 10 heats. Heat 1, referee.
So there are 10 heats of this. The time to beat is being set by Jaden Paul in lane 5 with 26.33.
Heat 2, referee.
I would expect the winning time in this event to be approximately 24 seconds. And as with all of these 50-metre dash events, the swimmers approach the first turn together. The turn sorts them out a little, but it looks at the moment to be between lanes 1 and 5. And Max Shaw in lane 5 takes first place in 26.79.
Heat 3, referee.
So in Heat 3, there is no swimmer in lane 3. Logan Winter was a no-show. And we've got 6 of the 7 swimmers touching virtually at the same time at the 25-metre mark. Noah Wheeler in lane 8 appears to be going very well and looks likely to take this particular heat, which he does in a time of 26.52.
Heat 4, referee.
.26.33 is still the time to beat. Well, this cohort are actually spreading out a little as they come up to the first turn. Maybe they're making it just a little bit easier for the place judges. It looks to me as though lane 1, Patrick Walsh, is pulling out and is going to take the lead, take the first place, which he does with 26.08. And that is now the time to beat.
Heat 5, referee.
So 8 more swimmers approaching the 25-metre turn flat out, with a lot of splash and probably some rather wet turn judges on the boom. It looks here as though lane 4 is in the lead. And yes, Jack Allman in lane 4 took that heat in a time of 26.51.
Heat 6, referee.
Well, heat sheets for 50-metre dash events almost seem like a waste of paper because we get through a whole page in virtually no time at all. So we've got another heat where we've got almost all of the swimmers approaching the first turn together, but it's between lane 2 and lane 8. It looks to be, no, lane 4 is coming through very quickly, and Charlie Toms took that heat in a time of 26.05. .03, sorry. And that becomes the time for subsequent swimmers to aim at. Okay, there is a very slight delay because there is a swimming hat on the bottom of the pool. It is now no longer on the bottom of the pool. Thank you.
Heat 7, referee.
So 4 more heats, including this one. Well, lane 6, Tomasz Petchak has gone out very quickly there and got the touch at the wall, although it is still very, very, very close. And if I had to say now, I would say it's probably lane 1. No, lane 8. 26.09.
Heat 8, referee.
Well, before the days of electronic timing, I used to pretend that I could place 8 swimmers in an event like this. But I'm very, very, very relieved that when they all touch the wall as they did then, that we do have a reliable timing system in the pool. Is it lane 8 maybe that's going to touch this time? Yes, 25.57. And that is now the fastest time so far.
Heat 9, referee.
So this is the penultimate heat, 25.57 to beat. Almost all together at 25 meters. But it looks as though lane 5 is just pulling out. Very dangerous thing for me to say. But yes, lane 5, 25.49, and that does become the fastest time to date. That was David Sanchez, by the way.
The swimmers in the final heat are lane 1, Albert Branch from Sevenoaks. Lane 2, Andrew Hooper, Farnham. Lane 3, Benjamin Tritton, University of Surrey. Lane 4, Christopher Finch, University of Surrey. Lane 5, Ross Murray, Mid-Sussex Marlins. Lane 6, Ethan Richards Knight, Chalfont Otters. Lane 7, Ben Howell, Woking. And lane 8, Joseph Bradshaw, Abingdon Vale.
There's no swimmer in lane 7, so we have 7 swimmers now chasing these medals. I would expect the medalists to all come from this heat, but who can ever tell? So we got Christopher Finch, who was the fastest entrant, coming in with close on a metre over the field, 24.11. Second place, 24.86. Third place, 25.69, which actually means that David Sanchez from Heat 9 will take the bronze medal in this event.
The next event is event 406. It's the women's 100-metre individual medley. There are 8 heats. Heat 1, referee. Four swimmers in this heat. In lane 3 we have Isabel Thorpe from Bracknell and Wokingham. Lane 4, Olivia Howarth from Epsom District. Lane 5, Kieran Sandhu from Crawley. And in lane 8, Olivia Duddy from Shiverers.
So look for a time of about 1:05 to win this particular event. So this is a 4x1 IM, so it is 1 length of each stroke. So in this particular heat, Kieran Sandhu in lane 5 has got a modest lead going into the final length of freestyle. And it looks as though she is going to hold it and set the initial target time for others to chase. So the initial target time there is 1:11.51.
Heat 2, referee. In lane 1, we have Flo Taylor from Bracknell and Wokingham. Lane 2, Harriet Stone from Eastbourne. Lane 3, Nicole Parker from Chichester Cormorant. Lane 4, Kira Lee Clout from Lancing College. Lane 5, Danica Forster from Chesham. Lane 6, Willow Standing from Atlantis. Lane 7, Isabel Simmons from Mid Sussex Marlins. And in lane 8, Isabel Valavan from Crawley.
And in this heat, Harriet Stone in lane 2 and Willow Standing are both just 13. So yet more outstanding prospects for the future. But Flo Taylor from Bracknell and Wokingham has got a clear lead in this particular heat and will almost certainly take first place. So yes, she takes first place in a time of 1:10.95, which is the fastest time so far.
Heat 3, referee. In lane 1, we have Madison Saunders from Hastings Seagull. Lane 2, Darcy Gibson from Eastbourne. Lane 3, Lilia Fornacia from Sevenoaks. Lane 4, Catherine McBride, Bracknell and Wokingham. Lane 5, Neve Pearce from Guildford City. Lane 6, Isabella Sawyer from Atlantis. Lane 7, Lily Della from Dartford District. And in lane 8, Orla Evans from Crawley.
So Lily Della from Dartford is a no-show. We have 7 swimmers here chasing that time of 1:10.95 in heat 3 of 8. It is all very close at the 75-metre turn, although Catherine McBride in lane 4 and Madison Saunders in lane 1 are coming clear. And in fact, it was Catherine McBride in lane 4 in a time of 1:10.67 who sets the time, the fastest time so far.
Heat 4, referee. In lane 1, we have Isabel Dill Russell from Dover Lifeguard. Lane 2, Harshika Srivastava from Wickham District. Lane 3, Bethan Lillystone from Abingdon Vale. Lane 4, Lucy Block from Wickham District. Lane 5, Creswyn Smith from Amersham. Lane 6, Sophie Duckworth from Rushmore Royals. Lane 7, Lucy Quill from Amersham. And Lane 8, Lauren Askew from Dorking.
Well, at this point, I would like to say a very hearty thank you to Wendy, who's been the announcer for most of today, although she only volunteered for this morning. But she does have to go now. Here we are in the heat 4. Lucy Block has taken heat 4 with 1:08.46. Again, the fastest time so far. And swimming in heat 5, lane 1, Bethany King, Mid-Sussex Marlins, 2, Rania Kaluki, Shiverers, 3, Amber Matthews, Hastings Seagull, 4, Callie Ramsey, Maidstone, 5, Madison Langley, Abingdon Vale, 6, Charlotte Hayden, Wickham District, 7, Skydra Valmantati from Shiverers, 8, Catherine McNish, Atlantis. So this is heat 5, 1:08.46 to beat. And it looks as though lanes 2 and 5, that's Rania Kaluli and Madison Langley, are making the pace. So Madison Langley comes through with a time of 1:10.12. We have the result of event 404, the women's 200 metres backstroke. First place, Caitlin Ebbidge from Tunbridge in a time of 2:10.96. In second place, Charlotte Prince Rayner from Winchester City Penguins, and in third place, Tegan Matthews from Guildford City. And the junior, first place Tegan Matthews, second place Charlotte Hayden from Wickham District, and third place Jessica Gable from RTW Monson. Heat 6, referee. In lane 1, Chloe Platt from Maidenhead. In lane 2, Grace Pointer from University of Surrey. Lane 3, Alice Weston from Wickham District. 4, Sophie Knocker from Leatherhead. 5, Molly Staples, Beausejour. 6, Ella Wardle from Worthing. 7, Chloe Grantham from East Grinstead. And 8, Jemima Green from Beausejour. So the time to aim at the moment is 1:08.46 from heat 4. And coming up with 25 metres to go, it is Sophie Knocker in lane 4 who's leading the way in this heat. But very tight, very quickly chased by Alice Weston of Wickham. But Sophie Knocker hangs on to set, to set a time of 1:07.09. Another fastest time so far, so that's the time for the last 2 heats to aim at. Heat 7, referee. Lane 1, Paige Austin Burrows, Rushmore Royals. Lane 2, Ellen Bagley, Abingdon Vale. Lane 3, Amali Smith from Tunbridge. Lane 4, Jessica Hum from Bracknell and Wokingham. 5, Lily Brabin from Wickham District. Lane 6, Maisie Brown from Rushmore Royals. Lane 7, Caris Capri from Rushmore Royals. Lane 7, Molly Loam from Dover Lifeguard. Sorry, lane 8 that was. So in this heat, Ellen Bagley in lane 2 and Jessica Hum in lane 4 are competing, and it's Jessica who takes the lead with 106, takes first place with 106.56, which is the fastest time to date, and that is the time that the last 8 swimmers are aiming for. Heat 8 is the final of the 100 metres IM. Lane 1, Oriana Wheeler from Beausejour. Lane 2, Hannah Murphy from Maidstone. Lane 3, Caitlin Ebbage from Tunbridge. Lane 4, Sophie King from Woking. Lane 5, Hannah Capron from Brighton. Lane 6, Amber Ranson from Atlantis. Lane 7, Megan Hansford from Tigers. And lane 8, Ella Thornburg from Littlehampton. Referee. So heat. Hannah in lane 5, lane 6, no sorry, lane 5 is just 13 and was the fastest qualifier for this event. But leading the way in lane 4, it is Sophie King from Woking. I don't think she's going to surrender that lead on the last 25 metres. But look at Hannah in lane 5, coming in to take the silver medal. So Sophie, first, Caitlin Ebbage, first 103.66. Hannah Capron from Brighton, second 107.42. And Caitlin Ebbage from, no, scoreboard got inverted. Sophie King from Woking, 106.04, third. And those are your medalists. The next event is the men's 400 metres freestyle. No, the next event is a break. We now have a 20-minute break before event 408. Sorry for my mistake there. It was me who decided there'd be a break. So we will be restarting at 6 minutes past 4, so enjoy your break, officials, volunteers and swimmers. restart. We would like all officials back in position on pool deck, and we will restart as soon as we have some swimmers from the marshalling station. As you can understand, we're all very keen now to get home. It's been a long weekend. If there is anybody from Farnham still here, we have a piece of Farnham clothing that's been left behind. Event 408 is the men's 400 metres freestyle, Heat 1 referee. In lane 1, Lewis Jones from Littlehampton. In lane 2, Benedict Witt from Winchester City Penguins. Lane 3, Lewis Jones from Littlehampton. Lane 4, Benedict Witt from Winchester City Penguins. Lane 5, Thomas Navarro Barber from Portsmouth Northsea. And lane 6 to Alfie Penfold from Crawley. And thank you for whichever official told me I'd got that wrong. Three of the 4 swimmers in this first heat have disability classifications. Lewis Jones in lane 3 is an S9, Thomas Navarro Barber in lane 5 is an S9, and Alfie Penfold in lane 6 is an S13. So I do apologise, especially to the people on the live stream. I'm not going to be able to commentate throughout these distance events. So in the first heat there, Benedict Witt set the time to chase of 4:27.20. Heat 2, referee. So in lane 1 we have Angus McKean from Wickham. In lane 2, Alessio Mandica from Lancing College. In lane 3, Oren Staines from Wickham. In lane 4, Oscar Behrens from Maidstone. I get confused between Maidstone and Maidenhead still with the codes. Lane 5, Monty Smith from Wickham. Lane 6, Anton Supov from Maidenhead. Lane 7, Ollie Mowbray from Amersham. Lane 8, Gabriel Gullidge from City of Milton Keynes. And the time to beat is 4:27.70. So often in 400-metre races, it's a bit of a procession. But as you can see, these swimmers are still pretty close together. Oren Staines in lane 3 has taken a little bit of a lead, but it is by no means a decisive lead yet. So 100 metres to go, and it's still any one of three to take this second heat. "50 meters to go, and it's still any one of three. Not often do we have any one of four, in fact, as Angus McKean in lane one has come steaming through, and four of them touch at the same time with 25 meters to go. And it's Monty Smith in lane 5 who actually takes that event with four swimmers within just over a second. So 4:18.55 is the time to beat. Heat 3 referee. Lane 1, Jamie Tappin of Guildford City. Lane 2, George Lambert of Portsmouth North Sea. Lane 3, Damir Bajor of Wickham District. Lane 4, Thomas Jennings of Portsmouth North Sea. Lane 5, Joe Way of Guildford City. Lane 6, Isaac Thompson of Tigers Jersey. Lane 7, Joseph Reedhead of Guildford City. And lane 8, Noah McCall of Amersham. "100 meters gone, and pretty much all of the swimmers except lane 8 are in a line. So I would expect that the winning time in this event will be just under 4 minutes. So Isaac Thompson in lane 6 has taken a slight lead at the 150 metre mark. And he slightly extended that lead by 200 metres. But 6 swimmers all touched almost at the same time, just behind the leader. So yeah, the second, third and fourth there in lanes 2, 3, 4 and 5 are within a second still. It looks like Isaac Thompson of Tigers is going to win this heat. But it could be any of the next 4 who will take second place, although Damir Bajor of Wickham is beginning to pull out. And in fact, may well be going to compete with Isaac Thompson. So these two swimmers turned over within half a second with 50 meters to go. So who said that 400-meter events can't be exciting and that they're always processions? The lead has changed and positions have changed almost constantly throughout this heat. So now it's going to be Damir Bajor of Wickham who takes the heat in 4:10.97. Well within his entry time and by far the fastest time to date in this event. Heat 4, referee. In lane 1, Morgan Davies of Guildford City. In lane 2, James Renshaw of Lancing College. In lane 3, Max Shaw of City of Milton Keynes. In lane 4, Ben Hatfield of Winchester City Penguins. In lane 5, Solomon Kendrick of Chivalrous. In lane 6, Jacob Pillinger of Bicester Bluefins. In lane 7, Daniel Fallon of Epsom District. And lane 8, Charlie Toms of Maxwell. "100 metres gone, and it is James Renshaw of Lancing College who's got a slight lead. The other 7 are still all in a row. So we're coming up to the halfway mark. James Renshaw is still in first place, and he's got a lead of about 3 seconds, but the rest of the field is still pretty much in a line, and anyone could finish second in this heat. So at 300 metres, James has lost his lead with his big lead. Max Shaw now is just a second behind, and Ben Hatfield a second behind him. And Max Shaw has now come up and overtaken. So Max Shaw has taken the lead as he comes up to the 350 metre turn. So Max Shaw, James Renshaw, and then any of the others. So there's now no doubt at all. Mark Shaw is coming in to take first place in 4:08.95, the fastest time so far. Heat 5, referee. So this is the penultimate heat. Lane 1, James Cummings Candle from Portsmouth North Sea. Lane 2, Hayden Annan from Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson. Lane 3, Samuel Lowe from Guernsey. Lane 4, Daniel Cox from Wickham District. Lane 5, Matt Burrows from Sevenoaks. Lane 6, Max El Mokadem from RTW Monson. Lane 7, Danelius Tuma from Crawley, and in lane 8, Justin Christie from Leatherhead. In fact, there is nobody in lane 7. So we have 7 swimmers here competing in this last but one heat. Sorry, lane 6 is the one that's empty. Lane 7 does have a swimmer in it. So as we approach the halfway mark, Hayden Annan and Daniel Cox are beginning to establish a bit of a lead, but it's by no means yet a decisive lead. All 5 of the other swimmers are within reach with 200 metres still to go. This third 100 is looking to prove decisive as our 2 leaders pull further away from the rest of the field. So Daniel is a second ahead of Hayden and more than 4 seconds ahead of Samuel in third place. But that 1 second between the 2 leaders has disappeared. They have just touched absolutely together at that point, and we're coming up now to the 350 mark, and there is nothing between them. Hayden in lane 2 is just beginning to pull ahead. And as we approach the finish, does look as though Hayden is going to get a narrow but quite clear win. So Hayden set a time of 4:01.40. That may well challenge the fastest swimmers in the final heat. So in the final heat, in lane 1, we have George Pearson from Wickham District. In lane 2, Oliver Pope from Thanet. In lane 3, Christian Dutoft from Guildford City. In lane 4, Harry Wynne-Jones from City of Milton Keynes. In lane 5, Joe Bartley from Wickham District. In lane 6, Nathan Potter from Maidenhead. In lane 7, Jack Booth-Rudd from Maidenhead. And in lane 8, Tom Hawkins from RTW Monson. Heat 6 referee. So 8 lengths of swimming to decide the medalists in this 400 metre. "16 lengths of swimming to decide the winner in this 400 metres. The fastest qualifier was Harry Wynne-Jones, who entered on a time of 3:55. The fastest time so far was set by Hayden Annan with 4:01.40 in heat 5. So coming up to the first 100, there are 3 together, followed by another 2 together at the head of the field. So the 3 in the middle of the field are separated by 0.3 of a second. So we're coming up to the halfway mark. And Harry Wynne-Jones and Joe Bartlett are neck and neck, touching almost first, with Christian Dutoft just behind. So this is still a very tight race. Still first 2 together. But Christian Dutoft looks as though he's fighting back as we enter the third 100. So I think we're now in the final 100. So with 75 metres to go, Joe Bartlett has pulled away from Harry Wynne Jones. "50 metres to go, and the difference is almost 2 seconds. And it's now clear that Joe Bartley is coming in a time of 3:53.60 to take the gold medal. Harry Wynne Jones, 3:54.87 silver, and Christian Dutoff, 3:56.21 third. The last event of the competition is the ladies and girls 800 metres freestyle. There are 4 heats. Heat 1, referee. So 800 metres is 32 lengths of the pole. There and back again 16 times. We will probably see this event won with a time just below 9 minutes. So we've got 4 swimmers in the first heat. In lane 3, Harriet Smith of the University of Surrey. Lane 4, Louise Bressler of Guildford City. Lane 5, Minagi Rupasinghe from Wickham. Lane 6, Alicia Bethel from Wickham. So I think we're coming up to 100 metres. I'll get a little bit less certain as the race proceeds. But Louise Bressler in lane 4 has taken a slight lead. There's a long way to go yet. So 200 metres, and Louise Bressler looks as though she's taken a decisive lead here, which she will probably hold on to. So there's now a battle for second place between Minagi Rupasinghe and Harriet Smith. At 300 metres, Louise really does have a very decisive lead, and the question will only be by how much she will beat the others. But the other three are all pretty close together, and second place could come from any one of them. So 400 metres, Louise is almost a length ahead, and the other three are really fighting each other very, very hard. So look at this in an 800 metre race. Three swimmers neck and neck within half a second. You can't ask for a more competitive race than that. You can't ask for a more dominant swim than that of Louise, who is now over a length clear of the other three swimmers. It's now beginning to look as though Alicia Bethel is going to finish second. She's pulling away from the other two and swimming pretty strongly. Louise is now chasing all three swimmers on the same length, but I don't think she will actually catch up and lap any of them. Not quite. So if I've calculated correctly, Louise is now coming in for the whistle, showing we've got just 50 meters to go. And with her current time of 8:32 with 50 meters to go, she is going to burst her entry time by tens of seconds. And Alicia, now coming in for the whistle, is now in a clear second place. But here comes Alicia. Her time, no, here comes Louise, should I say. Her time, 9:05.69. Her entry time was 9:32. Alicia coming in second. Minagi third. And Harriet fourth, more or less on their entry times. Heat 2 referee. So in Heat 2, Lane 1, we've got Jemima Saul of Portsmouth North Sea. Lane 2, Emily Toms of Crawley. Lane 3, Jessica Gable of RTW Monson. Lane 4, Rosie Pope of Thanet. Lane 5, Skye Austin Burrows of Rushmore. Lane 6, Cara Muller of Guildford City. Lane 7, Maisie Dickinson of Wickham District. Lane 8, Hannah Day of Portsmouth North Sea. Here are the results of event 408. The boys men 400 meters freestyle. In the open category, first Joe Bartley of Wickham District, in a time of 3:53.60. Second, Harry Wynne Jones, City of Milton Keynes, 3:54.87. Third, Christian Dutoft, Guildford City, 3:56.21. Juniors. First, Tom Hawkins of RTW Monson, 4:00.60. Second, Hayden Annan, RTW Monson, 4:01.40. Third, George Pearson, Wickham District, 4:03.45. And in the multi-classification competition, right, first, Thomas Navarro Barber of Portsmouth North Sea, 627 points. Second, Lewis Jones of Littlehampton, 579 points. And third, Alfie Penfold of Crawley, 469 points. With about probably 8 to 10 laps to go, Sky Austin Burrows of Rushmore is just ahead of Cara Muller and Maisie Dickinson in the reverse order. So this is by no means the kind of dominant display that we saw from a single swimmer in the last heat. So in this heat, first to last is now about 28 seconds. which is not unusual for a 400-meter race. So I believe our leader now has 4 lengths to go. She's coming in with on 8:06.25, and she would need to do the final 100 in slightly under the minute to beat the time that was set by Louise in the first heat. So I suspect that's not going to happen, but this is still a very good swim in lane 5 from Sky Austin Burrows. Yes, the comforting sound of whistles, which tells them they've only got 50 meters to go and tells me that my counting wasn't far out. So Sky Austin Burrows from Rushmore comes in with a time of 9:14.49, which, like most of the swimmers in this event, is well inside her entry time. Heat 3 referee. In lane 1, Alice Weston of Wickham District. In lane 2, Lucia Lopez, City of Milton Keynes. In lane 3, Hazel Ann Carter of Wickham District. In lane 4, Talia Staines of Bourne End. In lane 5, Amelia Ayling of Portsmouth North Sea. In lane 6, Neve Hasselvander from Epsom District. Lane 7, Amelie Shaw from Guildford City. Lane 8, Darcy Leonard from Guildford City. So Talia came into this heat with an entry time of 9:18. The fastest heat time to date is still Louise Bressler's time of 9:05.69 in the first heat. So with about 18 lengths to go, lane 5, Amelia Ayling is got a small lead over Amelia Shaw in lane 7, or should I say Amelie Shaw. And probably Talia Staines in lane 4. So 14 lengths to go. That's about 350 meters, I would suspect. In lane 5 now, Amelia Ayling looks to be building a lead that won't get caught. Six lengths to go, 150 meters, and Amelia has a very comfortable lead now. There's still a possibility that the places may change for second and third in this, the penultimate heat. Just to remind you, we are looking to beat a time of 9:05.69 set in the first heat. So that would mean Amelia would need to go 64 seconds for her final 100 to beat that time. She's not quite swimming at that pace, but she may be able to pick it up a little. So we're now coming to the sharp end of this event. By the time we've seen the results of this heat, the swimmers in the final event, the final 8 swimmers will know exactly what it is they're aiming for. So, Amelia comes in with 9:09.32. That's a very good time. It's 11 to 12 seconds inside her entry time, but probably not quite fast enough to trouble the first 3 places in the final heat. And Darcy Leonard is now coming in to complete this 3rd heat. In the final heat of this event, in lane 1 we have Emily Menlove from Winchester Penguins. Lane 2, Alice Young from Guildford City. Lane 3, Louise Ashford from Maidenhead. Lane 4, Lucy Fox from Wickham District. Lane 5, Nicole Ryan from Guildford City. Lane 6, Libby Gordon from Rushmore. Lane 7, Madison Emmons from Guildford City. And Lane 8, Pearl Griffiths from University of Surrey. Heat 4 referee. So as this race starts to unfold, I would like to take this opportunity as Region Swimming Manager to thank everybody who has made this competition successful. For the first time in many years, we have not struggled to find enough officials to run the competition. Thank you, those of you in white. We've had plenty of volunteers. Thank you, those of you in red. We've had a brilliant tech team running the events, which have gone pretty much flawlessly over the weekend. Thank you, Mark and his team. The live video coverage has been outstanding, and we've got an amazing team here. Mark, I've forgotten their names, it's a senior member, you know who they are. They're the ones who've been up in the cupboard with me today. They have done an outstanding job, way above anything we would expect. I want to thank the pool staff who've been incredibly accommodating. They've been very welcoming. I get the impression that they love having our competitions here, and it's a really great pool for us. So I want to thank everybody. And before I finish, I would like to apologise to everyone for the problems that we had in the entry system. We're never ever going to have 2 separate qualifying periods again, because clubs can't cope and the software can't cope. So we apologise, and we hope we've been fair to everyone. Right, let's get back to the racing. So it looks like when the swimmers get back here, there'll be 22 laps to go. That's still 550 metres, a long way to go. But look at Lucy Fox in lane 4. She has been swimming amazingly all weekend. If she was from the Channel Islands, she'd be having excess baggage going home for all of the medals. So another really tremendous swim in progress at the moment. Second place, Libby Gordon. Third and fourth, just gone off the scoreboard. I'll get back to you in a moment. The full results of this competition will be going up on the website either later this evening or tomorrow in PDF form. And by tomorrow we will have worked out the club points and the medal tables. .450 metres to go, and Lucy Fox is still ahead, but I think Louise Ashford may be beginning to close up a little. So 350 metres to go. And the gap now between Lucy Fox and Louise Ashford is now down to about 8, is now up to about 8 seconds. I don't think now there is any doubt about the winner of this competition. Lucy Fox is swimming away with it. The big question now is how many swimmers will beat Louise Bresler's time of 9:05.69 to push her out of the medals. So 100 metres to go for Lucy Fox. She needs to do under 80 seconds for this last 100 to beat the fastest time so far of 9:05.69. My money would be on her actually doing that. So here comes Lucy Fox, a dominant swim to win this race in 8:42.78. Second is Nicole Ryan in 8:56.13, and third is Louise Ashford in 8:59.24. So those are your medalists for this, the last competition of the day. Officials, thank you very much for your commitment. Please feel free now to leave poolside. I'm afraid the G&Ts are not provided, but feel welcome. Well, on behalf of Swim England South East region, I'd like to thank everybody who has tuned in to this live stream, either live today or recorded at some time in the future. Do give us feedback on what you've seen. Tell us what you've liked, what you haven't liked. Tell us how much you wish we had Ernie for both days as commentator. But thank you very much for tuning in, and we're about to switch you all off.